Hello, hello. So let's talk about how our bodies react and our minds react to losing trades. Your body reacts to a losing trade the same way it reacts to physical danger. That's not just a metaphor. A losing trade can trigger a genuine threat response. And that response is exactly what can lead to revenge trading, hesitation, and panic exits. When the nervous system interprets a loss as a threat, your decision making can change immediately. Instead of calmly following the plan, you start reacting to the outcome. The goal isn't to eliminate that response overnight, it's to train yourself to respond differently. Here's the good news. The response is trainable. The same basic principle behind exposure-based approaches to fear is repetition without the feared outcome becoming an emergency. In trading, that means learning to experience small losses without turning them into emotional events. The method is what I call micro-loss desensitization. Sorry, that's the best I could come up with. And it's simpler than it sounds. Inside a controlled high-frequency framework, you intentionally take small, well-defined losses. I know, just bear with me. Not because you're trying to lose, but because you're training your nervous system to experience a loss without triggering panic. The keyword is controlled. These losses are small, planned, and fully within your predefined risk. You're not increasing risk to force exposure. You're creating repeated opportunities to follow your process, take the loss, and move on, to get in that habit. Each small loss gets treated purely as a data point, not a failure, not a threat, because you remember you meant to do it, just information inside a larger statistical process. The trade loss, that's all the information you need from that individual outcome, just that it lost. And with enough repetition, the goal is for your stress response to become less tightly connected to the outcome of any single trade. A stop gets hit, you register it, and you continue following the process instead of feeling like something has gone seriously wrong or the market has offended you or some other emotional response. This is one reason experienced traders can watch a stop get hit and move on in seconds, while newer traders can spiral for the rest of the session. Trust me, I've been there. It's not necessarily that experienced traders care less about money. They've simply had more repetition experiencing losses as a normal part of the process. You can build this deliberately. Trade smaller, let losses happen exactly as planned, without flinching or second guessing the stop. The goal isn't to make losses feel good. They're never going to feel good. It's to make them feel normal. Trade every individual loss as expected variance, not a personal failure. You're not a failure. Losses happen to everyone. Your strategy is a statistical process, and individual trades are just observations from that process. One loss doesn't tell you that you're a bad trader, and it doesn't require you to immediately make the money back. Repetition is what trains the response, not willpower. You don't want to rely on telling yourself to stay calm after a loss happens. You want enough structured repetition that following the plan becomes the familiar response. The traders with the calmest execution aren't necessarily naturally calm. They trained for it. They learned to experience small losses without turning them into emergencies. Trade smaller, follow the plan, let the losses happen, and build that response over time. All right, guys, trade well and reach out with any questions.